Hello, my dear Taurus. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between August 1st and August 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Zero Marchetti, and I will start shuffling your cards. I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And I call the six elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Taurus viewers. So I want my dear Taurus to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I also want to take the chance to tell you that the full moon, the 7th of August, will have a partial lunar eclipse, and it will be in Aquarius, opposing Sun and Mars in Leo. We will also have a total solar eclipse in Leo on the 21st of August. The same day, we will also have a new moon in Leo, triangling Saturn, moving retrograde in Sagittarius, and Uranus moving retrograde in Aries. Very fiery, especially since also Mars is in Leo, aligned with the moon. Venus will be in Cancer, moving into Leo on the 26th. Joining Mars. Mercury will start moving retrograde in Virgo August 14. And for Taurus, we will have Moon passing through August 13 to 15, squaring Mars and also the Sun. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay. So, my dear Taurus, this is your future, and this is the now, and this is the past. The past is probably July, the now is probably first part of August 2017, but whenever you see this, it's probably the exact right time to see it. It can vary where you are in your destiny, in your destined truth. And this is the future. So probably it will be the second part of August. It might be up to 3 months, showing up to 3 months. Sometimes the past and the future might show your whole lifetime with the same thing going on. If it's need to be seen. Okay, so the first card for you is Two of Cups. So it seems like love has been present for you during July. Two of Cups is a very beautiful card with this connection, offering of love, equal love, beautiful conversations between people opening up from their heart and from their soul. We can also see the sign for Venus here. I can't remember where Venus has. I know it has been in Gemini, but I don't remember if it has been in Taurus. So it's also Cancer here. We have been in Cancer times. Those two hearts is almost like magnets clicking together here, and we have those pearl bonds keeping people together. And with those pearl bonds, it's rather interesting because for me, every one of these pearls represent a lifetime, and since they're entangled with each other, two sets of pearls, it seems like you might be with a person that you have been entangled with in other lifetime, aka a soulmate. So I usually doesn't notice that, but I notice this now. So maybe many of you will be with a soulmate. This is Seven of Wands. So even if you are with a soulmate and you feel this beautiful, beautiful love, it might be time to set boundaries. And it might also be that you are rejecting a beautiful love. You will know yourself which thing you are doing. The Seven of Wands is a person watching a gateway and they are watching it because there are coming impulses here. It might be your own energy, like passion for someone. It might also be insights, things that wants to come and making you awake, and maybe you don't want to wake up to the reality. Maybe you want to say no to the impulses that comes, the impulses of love, for example. Maybe you are fearful of this. The sevens are always spiritual challenges. It might also be that this is people wanting things from you, and you need to sort what's really going to make you happy and not. So saying yes and no, it's the law of attraction and the law of repulsion. Whatever you say yes to, what you want in your life, and you are thinking happy thoughts about it, it's what you are going to attract. But if you also put boundaries and say no to stuff, those things are going to decline, and that's the law of repulsion. So Seven of Wands, it's a situation where you really need to pick side. This is what I'm getting with this card at this time. The next card is the High Priestess. So it seems like you need to pick side and be very authentic about it. No lies, not lying even to yourself. Be very confront with what you really need and what you really feel. Don't decide things from what's convenient. Decide things from the bottom of your soul. The High Priestess has all the information. She also has the Taurus symbol in her forehead here. She has all the information from her angels, from her mind, actually, from her thoughts, kind of angel radio. With this wisdom owl, she has wisdom. She also have the water, so she can take information from the source to her feelings, to her emotions. She also have knowledge from the past and visions for the future, and her soul has gone down in her body, making a halo around her head. She also has an open third eye. And here you have the moon pulling the waters of the human being. We are around 70% water, so when the moon is pulling the waters on earth, it also pulls the water within us, giving us different directions, or giving us information, or blinding us with fear, because we need to go deeper and find out what the fear is about. When your feelings is in upheaval, or you feel anxiety, that's kind of a warning light that the High Priestess takes serious. She is listening to this warning light. She doesn't let it get her waters in motions. She just listens to it, and she's cool about it. She knows that she can't control whatever happens, but she controls her own reaction to what's happening. So she's very cool. She's much in her self-respect. Due to legend, she was the first woman in paradise. She was Lilith, but Adam thought she was too rebellious, so he didn't want her as a wife, and then he got Eve. And I don't think woman revolution has really stopped, but because of women being suppressed for this patriarchal time of religion and earth, they have been submitted to a lot of pain. So they have learned to take challenges in a very graceful way, and to be very highly in their spirits, because they have been persecuted and sacrificed over and over and over again for millennia. And this is something to pat yourself on the shoulder to, even if you are a man, because you have lived as a woman a lot of times. And knowing this, that in the bottom of the depths, your divine feminine energy is very much in self-respect. And she's like a hero. She has withstand the pains of her different lifetime. I'm thinking again of this pearl bond of all those different lifetime, and this is a 2, and this is the 2 High Priestess. But between those two is the 7 of Wands. Using your common sense, you can say, to distinct what's what, because sometimes we can be caught up in love and not really seeing. We don't want to see the truth of a situation, but this person sees the truth of the situation no matter what, not compromising in a stupid way just because to be in love. She's not paying any price to be with her Adam, even if the Adam in this case might be a female, because it's about who sacrifice the most in the relationship, who are the most committed, who are the one that gives in the most, that person needs to start to put a little bit boundaries, and the other person needs to take down their boundaries and become more authentic and truthful to their own journey, their own soul's journey. Because love is like your spiritual sadhana. Relationship challenge you in a way so you can grow. So they are very good for gaining this kind of experience that a High Priestess has. So all challenges are bringing you experience and making you more than you were before. And here you have the beautiful King of Coins. That's probably you. It can be a Capricorn as well, or a Virgo. And the King of Coins is a person that's very safe in their castle. They are much in the self-respect, and they have been able to make their world safe, so they can feel calm and centered. The King of Coins has the light shining in here, and he's living in a castle, and this is the doorway to the castle. So it's about sorting who are invited to your most intimate sphere and not. And also being more open towards those who can really help you grow, and not close them out because they might challenging your old wounds, or calling you to grow. So this is very delicate business, because we can be either too powerful, standing too much in our own power, being too much in our comfort zone, never leaving the house, always being like, I'm the one safe, I'm sitting here on my throne, and I'm not going to invite any beggars. So that's going to make the king a little bit alone and a little bit posh, to be honest. The other way around is, of course, when you are able to put boundaries, healthy boundaries, and not let people use and abuse you. Be able to say yes when you want to say yes, and no when you want to say no. Some people are being haunted by bad conscience if they say no, because they have been taught to say yes, even if this is contradicting with their own interests. And they have been blamed and made guilty if they didn't sacrifice themselves. So for some of you, it will be that you need to stop sacrificing yourself. And also, it can be easier to put boundaries towards the people that really, really loves you, that really wants the best for you, and not so easy to put up boundaries towards those that are kind of victimizing you or bullying you, like authorities or your mother-in-law or your father-in-law or your boss at work. Those persons can be really hard to put boundaries towards, but the ones, your partner or your children, can be more easy. So therefore you need to really do this reality check with a High Priestess and see to that you are not taking the easy way, that you are saying no to those that you should really say yes to, and that maybe you are saying yes to the people you should really say no to. So check out the reality. How is it really how it's really being presented for you? Truthfully, don't masquerade yourself. And here you have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is pain in some way. It's those angel radio thoughts that might be calling you to give you attention to some detail. So if you have trouble sleeping or thoughts keeping you awake, just write those thoughts down. Even if they're not true, even if they are just ghosts there to scare you, they will have the seed, like the little point where you actually, it's like a grain of truth. Like a grain of truth, something there is talking about what you are so fearful about. So look at your thoughts, mostly your tormenting thoughts, the one that writes you so you can't fall asleep, or whenever you kind of chill, you can't stay in one place. You need to pick up your mobile phone, you need to run an errand, you need to call a friend, because you can't be still with yourself, with your own inside, like the King of Coins. So check out those, because this angel radio might have some important information that maybe isn't what you really want to know or hear, but it might be something that you really need to hear. So you might have expected for a long time that one person doesn't really like you, but you have this kind of relationship where you don't really say, you just feel this, it's like a hunch. And here you're taking the hunch seriously, and maybe you will also confront the person and say, well, I feel that you don't really like me, and I have been trying to make you like me, but from now on I'm going to be my authentic self, because I feel that maybe I have just misinterpreted this situation and it's a ghost inside my head, or if you don't like me by now, you will never like me, so I can stop trying. So that was just an example. I'm just giving one example of how it can be. It can be in various different ways. Maybe realizing that the love that you felt here, the great connection, actually isn't so great, that you have doubts about it, that you have gotten warning signals that you haven't really been listening to. Maybe someone is shutting you out. Maybe you are shutting them out because of some because you don't want to listen to these fearful thoughts. Better confronting them, so you don't have to have ghosts in your head running your life, because many people do like this. They are so afraid of their own emotion, of their own inside. So whenever a person comes, like a person comes with love and triggers the old pain, they will reject this person because they don't want to feel the pain. But the pain is inside of them. It's not the love that causes it. It's just the love that shows where you're hurt. Because when you start to open up to a person, you start to bleed again. And that bleeding is the wound is still there, even if you're not in love, but you will feel it more clearly. So some of you are running away from yourself, and some of you are dealing with a person that does this. Okay. So this was in the past, and this is in the now, and we have another 9. So 9s are talking about the Hermit Mode, and this is a very masculine number 9, and this is a very feminine number 9. So you can have different ways of dealing with loneliness and your own inside and your own thoughts and feelings. Either you can approach them like this, like a man being an island all alone, just feeling those feelings or hearing those thoughts and not doing anything about it, just being a victim from it and trying to run from it, or catch sleep eventually, so you will be able to forget about all your problems. Those problems might not be real, but they have a grain of what you fear. So find out what your fear is about, and look at it, give it attention. Okay, so I fear that this is the situation. What do I have that support that this situation, that this is true, what I'm seeing, and what's supporting that it's not? And do a reality check. Don't lie to yourself. Be authentic. Don't live in a dream just because you don't want to wake up to the reality, because the reality is kind of picking on you. This is a very feminine side. This is not a man being an island. This is a person feeling their feelings to the fullest and realizing, okay, so I know what I don't want. So now I can know what I'm to ask for, what I want to attract into my life, what I want to dream of until I have it. So it's another way of being lonely, but doing something about it, not just like delaying or resisting, or maybe it's the name is procreating, when you postpone things forever and ever. This is dealing with the stuff instead. Okay, I don't want this, and I have analyzed what it is I don't want, and then I can change the compass direction from what I don't want to what I actually want. So finding out what my dreams are and how my needs can be met. So you see, you have the 2 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. It usually says, when those 2 cards comes together, that the relationship that you have now, 9 of Cups is saying kind of that it's meant to be. It's who you are supposed to be with. This is your soul family. But it doesn't mean that it's without complication. Usually love is full of complication. If it weren't we would start to become bored, because we are here on earth to be challenged, not to live in paradise. In paradise we live between those pearls. Okay, so here we are to work through our issues and to grow and expand. And this is Jupiter in Pisces, so it's making your dreams so much bigger, finding out what it is. You have something beautiful, but you want something more, and this is what's triggering your spiritual growth as well, because when you long for something, you are going towards this goal, like this holy grail, no matter what, and that is really making you evolve, because it's easier to go through challenges when you really have a goal. So that's the meaning of it all. It's supposed to be like a sweet dream that you're chasing, because this sweet dream is going to take you uphill and downhill, and you wouldn't be able to do this journey without this this dream. Without having this dream, then you will just stay in the sofa watching telly for the rest of your life and becoming like a vegetable. But here you have a dream and you want to fulfill it. You have a mission, a meaning with your life. And even if this relationship might be a little bit difficult for the moment, it's still on, okay? For most of you Taurus, it will still be on. It's just showing you different things that you need to see. 7 and 9s are talking about challenges and how to overcome them by going inside yourself, finding answers inside yourself, not through someone else, but inside yourself. So the next card is Two of Swords. So it kind of emphasizing this with the 7 of Wands, that you might be dealing with someone that doesn't want to feel their feelings. This is impulses, and this is the moon that gives those impulses, like the divine pushing us and wanting us to explore the depths of our own selves. But this person doesn't want to. They have a mask on and a veil before their eyes, so they are blindfolded. They don't want to see the truth. So it might be that you are dealing with a person that doesn't want to connect, and you don't want to see the truth that they are not connecting with you. Another 2. So it's talking about duality. 2 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 2, the High Priestess. So you might be also dealing with an air sign, because you have Gemini here and Libra there. It's also you have 2 of Cups and 9 of Cups, so maybe a water sign as well. So this is someone resisting. Either you're resisting the truth, or you don't want to say no for the sake of the peace. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to tell them what you really feel or think about your situation. You don't want to tell them your solution. You just go along with their solution, because you don't want to have like diplomatic crises. So you want things to be very flatlined like this. You don't want to cause trouble, or someone doesn't want to cause trouble. So anyway, this is a disconnection. This is a person not being authentic through their true feelings, or true longings, or true knowings. You might see a situation from a perspective that another person misses, and you don't tell them your perspective because you don't want to mess with them. But your perspective is valid. And I think you can share your wisdom with this person instead of shutting down yourself just to keep the peace of it all. So really central comes the Chariot, and another 7. The 7 of Wands is actually one of the horses in the Chariot. It's the white horse. It's the high moral standards, as riding high in victory, standing on high ground, being able to make moral choices, having this beautiful curved neck and shimmering in your eyes. So it's like doing the right thing. But how to know how to do the right thing? So that's what's hard. We always think that the answer is outside of us, that there will be like laws somewhere telling us what to do. But really you need to go to your inside to find your true, who you truly are, and what's your true moral values and codes and boundaries, and it's your soul's calling, so you need to follow it. And you can see the moon is here again, and it's kind of backing her up in this point. She has, it's like she's already checked out the moon, instead of this not checking out. And it's in her back, so it's kind of supporting her. And this light is, it's like moonlight, but it's not coming directly from the moon, so it seems to come from your soul, shining the light, the guiding light, to take action. The Shariat is always, always talking about taking action upon your intuition, your very, very strong and keen intuition. So be very authentic, don't lie, and be truthful, and put yourself out there. Even if you have done something that you're shameful of, stand up for this and take the heat for this. And if you haven't done something shameful and you're just shamed for being you, that's time to stop being like this. And here we can also see this veil that were before this person's eyes is now like holding here like a victory banner. So being able to see through illusions and see your path really clearly, and be confident enough. Like the High Priestess has a lot of confidence, and she's the one driving the Shariat here. So having confidence is the key, to believe in yourself, to respect yourself, respect your own view. It's very good. We have been through a long period of time where we were taught to walk a mile in another person's shoe and to see things from other people's point of perspective. And that was really good. It took us to a full experience of being able to be empathic. But it's also just one side of the story. This side of the story is something else. And now stop with this broadside perspective and see your own perspective, because you have the ability to see other people's perspective whenever you need. But for now, it's time to trust yourself, okay? And not have this kind of Picasso painting in your head and seeing it from every angle and being unable to make a decision. Decision time. Make it from trusting yourself and go beyond illusion. Don't, I think some of you have, like, you want things to be in one way, but the truth is, it's in another way. And when you can see this, you can act on this truth and change things, and eventually it will be like the way you wanted it to be. But as long as you don't reveal the lie, you won't be able to make the dream come true, okay? So first you need to see the reality. Then you can take necessary steps to change the reality into something that you actually want. This is a good meditation card. It's a very good starting point. And here you have a lot of energy moving forward, even if this blockage and things that you don't want to see or say. You're just like holding on. Yes, I won't speak. I won't make a mess. And eventually, the High Priestess, your own soul, wants you to make a mess. Okay, and here's the mess. This is the black horse of the Shariat. We have the beautiful white horse with the high moral standards. The black horse is your emotions. It's like a horse that more look like a draft horse. Maybe its one ear might be chopped off and it has lost the shimmering in their eyes. This was really the kind of horse I liked to play with when I was a little girl, like the broken toys. So because they have a soul, okay, they have been through stuff, they have seen stuff, they haven't always riding high in victory, always knowing exactly what to do, always being backed up with a good society that knows right from wrong. They have been through hell and back, and this is the other horse, the dark horse here. That needs to be, both of those needs to be together to get this show on the road. And actually it's very entangled here. We see the Cancer symbols. This is Cancer and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is fire, and the white horse is Cancer, it's water. But here it's the other way around. It's like this is the fiery horse, and this is the watery horse. So this is the beauty with our existence, because of the contrast, and we can blend those contrasts together and make like more and more unity. We have contrast because we need to see things from different, to learn things, to experience things from new ways and from new angles all the time. But what we are pulling towards is more unity, and this is how the mix is starting to hit off. The Chariot is a beautiful exposure of this. So the Seven of Cups is some old feelings, an old swamp, an old trauma, something that has made you turn to illusion because you couldn't face the reality, and you start to maybe make yourself safe behind a wall, maybe putting walls around your heart as well. Because you don't know what to choose. You don't know the outcome. You're getting fearful. You don't want to be treated in that same way that you were before. You don't want to be victimized. You don't want to be beaten. You don't want to have to work real hard or be really challenged. So here are your true challenges, the Seven of Cups. As I said, sevens are always challenges. And it's about finding out what those feelings that you're so fearful of really wants to tell you. What do they really want to tell you? How can you come in contact with them? How can you go deeper into them? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to talk with you again. This is Sounds of Silence with Simon and Garfunkel. You can also hear a version with Disturbed. That's very nice. Check this song out, see if it's talking to you. It's about starting to talk your own truth. It's about going deep within, finding what your truth is and expressing it. So it's almost like a person being victimized, starting to telling who have wronged them and how this feels. It's many versions of that. But it's also standing up for yourself and being your own king, like being the own safe haven, being very grounded during this process, loving thyself really deeply and not betraying yourself or giving yourself up and saying, well, okay, yes, you are right. I was stupid to think like this. Of course you will say it if you find out the truth and you see that the other person has the truth. But if you're saying it just to keep peace, you are keeping yourself trapped in a mental prison that you have made for yourself. And that I don't want for you, my dear Taurus. So I paused a little bit and turned on the light for you again, because it has kind of drowned in its own wax. So that might be saying something about the Seven of Cups, your fiery sun drowning in its own liquid. So see the truth of your situation. Don't try to shadow yourself and to keep yourself shut, or don't. It's like you're not listening to yourself true and true. You need to do so even if it's going to expose some unpleasant truths about how you really feel about the situation, what you really need to do to make you feel better. Okay, and here we have a little Page of Cups. So some of you will definitely be dealing with a Cancer person or any water sign. It might be also Sagittarius or any fire sign. It's fire and water being mixed here. We also have a lot of air. So Page of Cups is this inner child, and it's for you to take a stand. Instead of just trying to silence yourself, you need to start looking what's really hurting, what's really making things hurt your inner being, your inner. It's like a beautiful little jellyfish inside of you, picking up like an antenna every little ripple on the ocean of things, and you feel like, oh God, now I'm getting stomach ache again when the ripple comes. But it just wants to say something. It wants to give you the attention, like what were your thoughts just before you got the stomach ache? What was you talking about? What happened? Go back and look. This was it wants to make you get your attention on something. So it's an antenna, and you need to clean your antenna so you can listen more carefully to this angel radio. The darkness that wants to talk with you about something that you need to see and feel and heal. Seeing brings in light to the shadows. Feeling brings in healing to the heart. Okay, so to just stay with yourself and just be with yourself in this darkness or these dark feelings is actually what's going to heal you and ground you and make you so stable that you can take care of this jellyfish inside and still have a bright shining antenna. Okay, being able to be very telepathic and still not be overwhelmed. Okay, so that was your now, and from why I stand, it seems like your heart has a dream, and it's up to you to see to that this dream fulfills with truth and honor, and not with blindfolding yourself or refusing to see unpleasant reality. Do the reality check. Do the necessary sacrifices with this reality check, and good things will come out of this because you faced your fear, you faced your inner darkness or demons, and find out that they were beacons of light guiding you to where you are supposed to go. So this is in the future, and we see the tower here. So this might be what you have been fearing so much. You didn't want to sacrifice this beautiful love, because even if it was tainted, this is most probably your soulmate. So, and you knew this, and you don't want to sacrifice them. It might also be a very blessed situation that you have had for a very long time, and you don't want to sacrifice it, but you're called to do so, because you need to tear down the tower, the old structure that was false, and built on solid ground something new. And if you don't do this, heaven will do it for you. So it doesn't mean that you have to break up with a partner. It just means that you need to start talking the truth and be ready to sacrifice whatever it is that's so valuable for you that you have kept your mouth shut. Okay, you need to start to be able to sacrifice this and be more authentic. The Tower is a healing card, so it's again about being healed and finding who you really are, and this foundation that you need to be able to take care of the Page of Cups. You need to have rock solid foundation. It can't be built on unsolid ground. It needs to be, it's like meteor shooting down, and it might be like earth is trembling underneath your feet as well. So the Tower is very strict card. It wants to help you, but if you don't listen to the whispers of these warning signals, the light will become brighter and brighter, or the pain will increase, or the challenges will increase, and to that point where you can't refuse to see the reality anymore. So listen to this before you need to be challenged in this way. It's an easier way to do things than to wait to the last moment when you are forced or pushed out of a cliff. Instead, it's better to be prepared, to have your hang gliding gear on and just float over this abyss. Okay, an Ace of Swords, so truth. That's really good. The Tower will come and truth will come out. So if you have lied about something, if you have kept your feelings hidden, not wanting to share the love that you had for someone, or if someone didn't want to share their truth with you, acknowledgement, love, whatever it might have been, this is coming. Okay, so the Tower is going to sacrifice things for you that you weren't able to sacrifice for the sake of the truth, and the truth will set you free. And it's not just a saying. If you are being able to see through illusions and to see the truth and act accordingly, you will actually get this, what you really wanted from the first place. It might take time, but from where you are right now, anyway, you're stuck. You're stuck with this dream that's half a dream and half a nightmare. And what you really want is the dream. So you need to become truthful and do the necessary sacrifices and follow the beacon of truth. So, Two of Swords, Ace of Swords. That's good. We have the Six of Swords as well. We can see here the Nine of Swords hanging from the ceiling, threatening this. person trying to sleep. Here threatening the boat with the voyage, and here is the Ace of Swords. So yes, from our perspective, the truth might seem very threatening. It might seem like it will cast everything on end and destroy everything. But that's not it. When you know the truth, this is your heart matter. It's kind of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, she is emerged in the Page of Cups. Her antenna to the divine. It's very sensitive, but she is the girl to take care of this, or the boy to take care of this, because she has self-respect and she knows to have boundaries that's healthy and not shutting people out, but being very authentic. So when you have this, it's like equipment in your wardrobe and you're using it, you are being able to join your logic with your heart. It's no contradiction. The contradiction lies in sacrificing yourself for not facing your fears, okay? Or not wanting to see through the illusion. The dream is still there. You still want the same things that you wanted before, maybe the same person even, or the same thing but with another person that's more appropriate or suitable for you. But so the dream is still there. It's just that you need to see the truth of, do you actually have it or not? If you don't have it, if you're not happy, if you're not living the dream, either you are bored and you're trying to make like drama out of a very stable situation, or you have a situation that's stable on the surface, but really underneath, it's not really what you want. And you have been diplomatic about it, and you have been blindfolding yourself, and you have been keeping yourself back. But now the truth needs to come out, and there's no contradiction between logic and heart. They want the same thing. It's just that when they are united, they are super powerful. So the High Priestess, the Chariot. So someone steering this chariot with and seeing the truth, so they know where to go as well. And this is actually Persephone and the Hermit. Hermit being the guiding light over these troubled waters, the river Styx where we go to when we die, and Persephone, she is going down to the netherworld to marry Hades, her shadow, the things with her or him that they didn't want to see before, or she didn't want to see before. So her dark side, this thing that was kind of cast down to hell, because you thought that this was immoral, this was things that you needed to keep quiet about. You were not supposed to say your true meaning about things. You were supposed to keep your ideas for yourself. This is the half of you that's the devil, that's in the basement, that needs to be rescued from a prison right now. You need to call in your other side, become your true self. And here's the Hangman, so that's sacrifices. And we are not liking to do sacrifices. We don't like it at all, because that might even make us lose our will to live sometimes. But we need to make those sacrifices of the old to make room for the new. For example, if you're with a person that are disconnected from their feelings, and you have been giving and giving and giving, and they are not giving anything back. When you sacrifice this relationship, you are actually taking them down from their high horse, and they need to start doing the work. So even if you are in pain, the good news that they are too. And both of you being in pain is both of you being challenged, and both of you growing. Before, only you were in pain, only you were challenged. Okay, so if this is the other way around, maybe someone has broken up with you because they say, well, you seem to not love me, so I have taken this decision that I will leave. So now you are being left in this emptiness, this empty void. Safe you were in your house, but now you're faced with your deepest, darkest demons that you kept at bay, maybe by letting another person feel all those feelings, and you keeping yourself safe behind this wall around your heart. So the wall needs to go. It can be different ways with different Taurus persons. We are yin and yang, so we're taking one part of the story, and it's not that one are the bad and one are the good. It's just two different sides of the same coin. And we are all searching for unity, but some people thinks that this unity is scaring, because then they need to feel their open bleeding heart, listening to their this is actually your way of connecting with ground control. If you imagine yourself to be an astronaut out in space, much like the High Priestess, this is a way that she keeps contact with ground control, also through the, not the eagle in this picture, but the owl, the wisdom owl. So listen to the ground control, listen to the divine through those your thoughts that you are so afraid of, the truth, and also the waters, the feelings that you are so afraid of, because they just want to guide you. They don't want to scare the living crap out of you. Okay, and here we have a Knight of Cups, so it will come beautiful things out of this situation. Someone may be coming to say that they're sorry, or you opening your heart and want to pour the love towards each and every one. But with the Knight of Cups, it's a bit young. We have the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, very young. It's the youngest in this suit of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They are very young because they have just learned to kind of reconnect with their feelings, because before they were so afraid of doing this because they were afraid of the pain, but something challenged them to connect with their feelings, and therefore also their pain. So first there might be nightmares of big sea creatures wants to eat you up. This is your big sea creature's feeling that wants to swallow you whole, but they don't want to. They just want to make you see something, having attention to something. It's like you have been shutting off all communication. You have closed off your mobile phone for, say, like 6,000 years. And when you turn it back on again, it's going to drop messages, like a lot of messages. And this is the pain that you're feeling. All the messages, all the things that you missed during the time when you blocked out the divine and all this information. Painful, yes. A lot of you will have past life memories coming through. Painful, yes, but it's not happening now. It just wants to be seen and felt and released. It's so beautiful. When light comes into a shadowy place, the shadow isn't there anymore. It has become light. So just give yourself attention. Just scoop through this pile of messages and don't be afraid of them. Actually roll out the red carpet to them. Oh, and if you fear something and you know that you want to avoid it, but you're not supposed to. It's some sacrifice that you need to do. It might be an easy thing, like starting to say to people what you really think. Like, no, I don't want to. I don't have the time, or I don't feel up for it. I'm not in the mood. I'm not even liking to do this. I have just done it because I wanted you to be happy, but now I'm starting to try to make myself happy. So it might be some small thing like this. It might be some bigger thing, like changing your whole life situation. It depends on how deep you're buried, like how much messages have you been able to scoop through to your life, and how much of them have you missed because you feared those messages. Okay, so I will take from Mary L. Tarot by Mary White. I will take a card from your past. Okay, so instead of past life oracle cards, I have now Mary L. Tarot. And we have the Knight of Swords here. So Knight of Swords is probably memories from an olden days before you knew how to walk a mile in another person's shoe. You were a little bit reckless. It's like Icarus driving their chariot too close to the sun. So you know the dangers with speaking up. It's like this wisdom owl. Sometimes the wisdom owl just wants us to be like notice something. But if we say it immediately without thinking, that might cause damage without beyond repair. Like you can't take back the words once spoken. You can regret it like nights on end for the rest of your life. You still won't be able to take it back. So that's a good reason to why people don't just spill out their guts each and every time. But what you have been doing, many of you have been doing, is either too much or too little of this. For most of you, I see that you have done this too little. You have stopped communicating altogether. You have stopped telling people how you feel about things because you so much fear the consequences. So there's a valid reason to why you are behaving like this. And for some of you, you're spilling your guts and cutting bounds and burning bridges wherever you go. And that will come to an end, I think, because when you have burned a lost bridge, you will feel very alone. And then you need to change your ways. So that's another part of the story. But there's a, as I said, valid reason for you being afraid of speaking up. But trust your intuition this time. You have learned the other way of, you can't see the consequences. You know how it will feel for another person. So you will be careful and you will use loving words. Instead of like for many thousands of years ago, you would have said, well, you're stupid. And another person said, well, you're stupid too. This time you will say, this is how I feel about this situation. I don't want to do this anymore. I have gotten tired of it, and it's not personal about you, it's about me. I know it's hateful words, but it might be the truth sometimes, that you are not in the mood for it, or you don't want to do this anymore. It's like there's no energy to spend towards whatever it is that you are so afraid of saying no to. Okay, so that was from the past, and this is Oracle of Visions by Cyril Marchetti, and it will give you a glimpse of your future, where you are going to. Okay, so it's two cards wants to show themselves. So it's both being able to see yourself clearly and being able to face whatever comes, also being able to let the mask fall when you're overwhelmed with feelings, and being able to connect with someone and share. And there's many dolls here, so going deeper and deeper inside till you find this little creature. So look yourself in the mirror. Start with the person in the mirror if you want to change your surrounding. But this card is about the mask dropping. When the mask drops and we are standing there with our true selves and so vulnerable. And this is it's a blessed state. But it's not to be shared with people that's perpetrators. So this is, for many of you, this will be what you need to wake up to, that you're surrounded by heathens, by enemies. There's another song for you, heathens. I don't remember the group's name, but it's about being surrounded by heathens and not even being able to breathe, because being so scared of tripping someone's temper or something similar to that. So you need to be able to see, you can love a person that's like this. This unconditional love is a beautiful thing, but you don't have to. You can say to them, I love you, but I won't stand this way that you are treating me. So unfortunately, our roads will separate right here. And if you ever like better your ways, you're welcome back with this forgiveness, with this love. But it's going to be equal this time. It's not going to be, I'm not going to be the victim of you. And also, maybe you will have to say you're sorry if you have been victimizing someone else. Okay, so my dear Taurus, I hope this helped. And I want you to take really, really good care. And I hope to see you again in the middle of August. Okay, bye-bye.